Hello happy crafters and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because I'm back here every week, most of the time, with all the crafty tutorials. And today we are talking about something that can really save you time, especially if you're a crafty business owner. But even if you're just a hobbyist crafter and you love to make cups like this one, we're gonna be talking about how UV DTF wraps can save you a ton of time. So today's video is why UV DTF wraps are a game changer for any crafter. Let's talk about UV DTF wraps a little bit. It is a little bit of a tongue twister for me. I'm gonna try not to say it 3 times fast or fast at all throughout this video, or I will definitely mess it up. I'm also on the tail end of being sick, which is why I've been a little bit absent from my channel lately and why I still sound like this. I feel like this gunk is just carrying on forever. First things first, let's talk about what UV DTF wraps are and how they differ from traditional DTF printing. So UV DTF stickers, they look like this if you get them in a full wrap like I did here. This is the 15-ounce wrap size from my craft source. You can see it's shiny and it's probably hard to see on camera. I'll try to do it on this overhead camera, but they kind of lift off the page a little bit. So there's definitely like a glossy, like you hear that? They're kind of hard. They feel a little bit like a very thick laminated sticker. And the reason why they feel that way is because UV DTF sheets are printed using UV printing technology and then they're cured with a UV light, which gives it that kind of like when you get a gel manicure. I would make it akin to that a little bit. The great thing about these UV DTF stickers is they are peel and stick. So they come ready to apply because of how they're printed. So there's a little backing on here that you can peel off, apply it directly to your tumbler or whatever hard surface you are planning to apply it to, and they are permanent. So because of how they're printed, they are very, very durable, which is a reason why I love them. They are made for hard surfaces though, which is kind of how they're different from traditional DTF printing, which stands for direct to film. And traditional DTF printing is printed using a special ink and then it's cured with a powder coating that makes it incredibly durable. But these are also direct transfers. They're just more typically used on fabrics or other things you might use a heat press to apply. You can use DTF transfers on things like wood, which are technically hard surfaces, but traditional DTF transfers are intended to be used with a heat press to apply it to whatever you're putting it on. So UV DTF stickers, hard surfaces like a tumbler, traditional DTF printing, more for fabrics or anything you would use to apply a heat press. And the difference here is you're using that UV technology to create that permanent hard coating that really makes it super durable. So the UV finish does make it really durable. We just talked about that, but specifically I want to make sure to mention that because it's UV printed, they are waterproof and UV resistant. If you're going to put these on like a hydro flask or another tumbler that's going to be outside a lot or going to be washed a lot or going to get wet a lot, you're going to have no problem with these, which is really promising for all us crafters and crafty business owners who make a lot of tumblers and are so nervous about somebody coming back and saying, it didn't last. These puppies are gonna last. Okay, so at the end of this video, we're gonna talk about the why. Definitely stick around for that. I've got some really good reasons that you might wanna select this over another type of way to make tumblers. Even if you're not a crafty business owner, hobbyist crafters should really consider this, and we're gonna talk about that at the end of the video. But right now, let's talk about how we make these. So we're gonna hop over to the computer and get started. Here we are in Canva, which is where I create my tumbler wraps. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this design right here because it's already sized appropriately for the type of tumbler that I have. But I will say it's important for you to measure what you're going to be putting your UV wrap on before you start creating, or else you can really end up with some problems in terms of sizing and things can get scrunched and out of proportion. So I always start in Canva because you can really specify your size there. If you like using something like Illustrator or InDesign to create your products or even Inkscape, you can do the same there. Just make sure that whatever canvas you're working with on whatever design software you like to use is the right size. So we'll actually make a new one just for the sake of doing it. So we're going to create a design here and we're going to go to custom size and we want the width to be 9.3 inches and the height to be 3.9 inches. That is the size of my tumblers. So let's go ahead and create it. So we've got our canvas here and it is the right size. So we're gonna go straight to elements and let's start thinking about what we want this tumbler to look like. A word of warning if you're planning to use Canva to create your designs, remember that the elements you're using are somebody else's design. So there are certain rules within Canva about what you can use pro elements for and what you can use free elements for. Definitely be sure to check that out before you sell anything you create in Canva. I have sold designs designs that I've made in Canva before, you just have to make sure you're looking to make sure that it is eligible to be sold. So I will link in the description of this video where you can go to read Canva's policy on all that. The basic thing is if you use all free elements, you're safe no matter what you plan to do, even if you're selling it as an SVG cut file. If you're planning to sell it on a physical product, the rules are a little bit more lax, but I would encourage you to check out those for yourself just so you are well in the loop and don't just take it from me. With that being said, for the design we're gonna create today, because we're not selling this design, we're just gonna use whatever we want. Let's do like retro cowgirl. I don't know, that just feels fun. And I'm gonna look at all my graphics here. Okay, we got some fun stuff. So I'm just gonna start throwing elements on my canvas that I like, and then we can go in just a minute and actually like kind of shore this up and make it make more sense. Oh, that is very cute. I also really like that pattern. That's cute. I just love the disco cowgirl type of thing. Like, it's giving Dolly Parton, it's giving I actually like my life. You know, we've got a lot of pink going on though. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I always like to include an element like a sparkle or a star that can kind of fill space. I think that that's always a good call. Let's use this flower instead because I feel like we got too much disco going on, if that's even possible. I'm gonna throw some sunglasses in here too because why not? Okay, but why is the snake so cute? We have to make it a different color, but it's cute. I want some boots. Oh, here we go. We'll do this. Let's get rid of this. Let's kind of take stock of what we have. I'm also gonna do some color matching. We've got several like different shades of pink going on here. Got two smileys. I think this is probably good. I really like this color, so I'm gonna match everything else to that color. Oh, you can't change the colors on this guy. So we're gonna pick something different because we can't change the color on that one. I almost said we need a cowboy boot. Well, we have one right here. Oh, here we go. This is like a super popular look. Are we about to just change everything? Because I do be liking that. I kind of like this better. Don't hate me. We're about to change this entirely because I like this look. I think that's so cute. So let's find stuff that more matches this. I do love the snake. I just can't help myself. I think it's cute. And then we'll get like a simpler disco ball in there. This is better. We're going in a better direction because now we have like a few elements that are pretty complicated, and then we've got some simpler ones kind of in the background here. The horseshoe is cute too. Maybe we'll do that instead of the star. I think that's probably good. All right, we're gonna get rid of that panel so we can look at the full screen here. I kind of want this to be the front and center of my design. And then I want cheers to kind of be the next little thing that they see. And we're gonna make that like the same color. We're gonna kind of start matching some stuff up here. Now we're cooking. So I'm just gonna move these guys over to the corner and we're gonna start building this out a little bit at a time. And we're gonna change some colors like at the end, but for now, we just kind of need to get everything in a spot, like that makes sense. Now we're just gonna make this space like filled more normally. And things can be different sizes. I'm not like worried about it all being the same size. We have those like kind of in the same spot. So it's kind of giving like Taylor Swift cowgirl. Okay, so we've designed our UV wrap in Canva. The way you download it is you select share, download, and you wanna do a PNG with a transparent background. That is super important. That is what's gonna make it so the UV wrap doesn't actually print a white background. We want the background like this one to be clear, and we only want the design. So that's why we're gonna select transparent background, and then we're gonna select download. Now we're gonna hop over to my craft source. That's where I order all my UV DTF wraps from. You can order them from other places. I don't want you to feel like I'm telling you you have to order it from them. They're just my personal favorite. They have great customer service. The quality of the wrap is really strong, and the price is really good. For all those reasons, I choose to order from them. You don't have to, but in this video, I am gonna show you how I order it from my craft source. Okay, so you go to mycraftsource.com. We're gonna go to UV stickers and select custom DTF UV stickers, which is what we're ordering today. You can see that you can pay extra for like expedited printing and expedited shipping. I would not recommend doing that. I feel like they ship really fast. You're gonna get it in a couple of days. And then here's where we're gonna click custom UV stickers. I'm gonna select get started. You can see that they have a layout designer where you could design within their website, but I like to do it in Canva like we just did. So I'm just gonna select image upload. Here's our design that we just downloaded. And you can see it's gonna show you down here kind of what it's gonna look like. And there's even some really good like tips to look for down here. What this is basically telling us is make sure you see that checkered background throughout your whole design. If you don't, it means you have not deselected the background like we did in the previous step, and it will print. So we really don't want like a white background printed on our wrap, but you can see that is literally all you do. It's gonna tell you like details on what to do down here, and it's also gonna tell you details on sizing. So I would read all this the first time that you order, but to give you the TLDR, it's basically gonna say, is this your image? You didn't copy it from someone else, correct? So you wanna check that box. Make sure you have no background. And then when we select our size down here, we don't wanna miss that step. You can select a lot of just square sizes, which a lot of people use for like different kinds of wraps, or even if you're gonna just like place it directly on like a flat blank. But what we're doing today is we are doing our 16-ounce cup wrap. That is how we designed our final. So you can even see like if you have a different size of cup that you would like to try to work with, you could come here first, look at what the sizes of the wraps are, and then go back to Canva and design based off of that. But we're just gonna choose this one today, and then I would just select add to cart and I would check out. Comes just like this. So one extra thing to note is that when it arrives in the mail, it will probably have like a little black text at the top, which tells you a little bit about the details of the printing, and it'll probably have your name on it. That's just a way that my craft source keeps all the UV DTF sheets straight, so you get yours and not somebody else's. Make sure to cut that part off before you apply it to your tumbler wrap, because it is printed on the UV DTF printer, and so it will apply to your cup. So make sure you cut that part off. There's even instructions on it with a little scissors and a dotted line to remind you to do that, but don't forget. So that is how you order UV DTF stickers and how you make them. So we've covered what's the difference, what even are they, how do we make them and order them, and now I'm going to talk about why I think you should really consider these, whether you are just a crafter or a crafty business owner. Okay, so the first reason I think you should consider UV DTF wraps is price. For this wrap, it's $4. And when I talk about the all-in price for a product that I'm making, my cut blank is going to be probably under $7. My wrap is gonna be $4. I'm all in under $13 for this cup, and I could sell this for 20 bucks. Some people sell them for 25 bucks. Look at the prices in your area for what people sell these type of glass can cups for, and do your own homework and research. But for the time that it saves, $4 for the actual wrap is well worth it to me, especially when I want to do a design that has a lot of color on it, because layering all that up in vinyl would just be really expensive and really time consuming. So if you're not planning to sublimate, this is kind of, I think, the best bet you can go for, because you can get such vivid color prints at a low price, really relatively. So price is kind of the first thing. The second thing is what I've already touched on a second ago, which is range of color. When you're making a tumbler wrap with vinyl, like this one that I made here, I love this wrap. I think it's so cute, but really 3 colors, I was kind of maxed out. I mean, once you start piling up more than 2 colors or so on a cup like this, it gets really bulky, it gets really thick, and it's at greater risk of peeling. So for that reason, I love UV DTF wraps, because you can get a much fuller range of color, and because it's printed on, it looks really clean and crisp. The third reason I would recommend UV DTF wraps is because of the durability. This is a cup that I have had for about a year, and I've never washed it. Well, I've never used it. Don't think I'm like using it and not washing it. I just use it as a display cup because I just think it's so cute and I love it. But if I were to wash this, probably after 2 washes or so, it's gonna start to peel because of the really thin ghost detail. Whereas this one I've run through the wash a few times and it's doing pretty well. But at the end of the day, vinyl is just vinyl, and it's gonna start to peel on you. It's gonna start to chip. The dishwasher especially is not gonna be its best friend. And with UV DTF wraps, you can really count on great durability. So this can go through the dishwasher, this can get wet, this can be outside in the sun all day long, and it's not gonna fade, crack, or chip. And for that reason, I love them. The very last reason kind of ties into price. Well, when I was talking about how this is only $4, another thing that you really have to factor in, especially if you're a business owner, is the cost of your time. When you're making a more complicated cup like this, ooh, that was loud. When you're making a more complicated cup like this and you're using vinyl, it takes a lot of time to layer all that vinyl, to make sure it looks right, to make sure everything's straight. There's a lot of room for error. You may have to redo it, and it can be really time consuming. But because these UV DTF wraps come as a sheet and they're literally just a sticker, all I have to do is wrap this onto my cup and peel away the backing and I'm done. That's it. That's the whole process. So for that reason, you could order these sheets in bulk, and whenever somebody orders a cup, you just stick it on there and ship it out, and your time investment is so incredibly low, which to me more than makes up for the fact that you're gonna pay about $4 a sheet. Okay friends, that is the lowdown on UV DTF wraps. I am a huge fan of them. I'm also a huge fan of my craft source, as you already saw. I highly recommend checking these out. I do have a code with them. It's Laura Lambert. If you want to order from them, I'll even put the link down in the description. You can get these elsewhere. I just really like them. I stand behind them. I have for years. They are really great at what they do. If you want to try out DTF wraps, definitely check them out. Try them out, see if they work for you. I think they're truly incredible and you can create really, really fun designs. So we talked about what is a UV DTF wrap, how does it differ from traditional DTF printing. We talked about how you actually create them and make them and get them shipped to you. And then we also talked about why they, in my book, are a leg up on some other forms of tumbler making. So I hope you loved this video. Definitely like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I'm back here most weeks with a new crafty tutorial, and I hope you loved this one. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you've used UV DTF wraps before, let me know if you liked them. What questions do you have? I'm glad to answer them or make more videos on this topic. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you want to craft next time, but until we meet again, happy crafting.